There's really nothing quite like a big blast of Shakti in the system for the ego to form an identity around. If you've ever experienced a powerful surge of energy, leaving you exhilarated, puzzled, or even questioning your entire existence, you're not alone. Such an awakening can feel both extraordinary and overwhelming, can stir up a whirlwind of emotions and thoughts. But what does this mean for you? And how should you navigate this new terrain? Well, that's exactly what we're going to untangle together today. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to distill about a decade's worth of yogic experience just for you. And to do that, we're going to unpack three crucial subjects. Firstly, what does this experience mean for your life? Secondly, the problems that most people face as they go through this journey. And then thirdly, the immature nervous system conundrum. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Firstly, what does this experience mean for your life? Well, that really depends on what actually happened. In my teaching and in my coaching, I've seen people have a huge spectrum of experiences, but at its core, what's happening here is energetic. Some more intense, some less. And here's the thing, one isn't better or worse, but your ego, well, it'll try and convince you otherwise. It'll say, mine's more complete, mine's more important. And that's a trap. And let me make this crystal clear. This experience is not a measure of your level of consciousness. Spontaneous kriyas or movements in the body, they're not a sign of progress. They're just energy working itself out. And sometimes what we're calling Kundalini is just a little bit of energy waking up in your system. So the real question is, what are you going to do with that energy? Are you going to dive deeper, using it to explore and understand yourself? Or are you going to try and fix it so that you can go back to your normal life? Spoiler alert, you probably can't just go back. It's like trying to fit into old clothes that you've outgrown. Your old life doesn't fit anymore, and that's okay. This is your chance to start working consciously with your energies rather than avoiding them. And here's where your life changes. To work with your energy, you need sadhana, your daily spiritual practice. Now, sadhana is your pathway to transformation. It's literally how you plug into the source of life and uncover your bhakti, that deep desire to grow, to connect and live fully. Whether your dreams are to find peace, purpose, fulfillment, or heck, some of us even have dreams for the ultimate, it all begins here with the sadhana. And if you want this journey to unfold smoothly, you'll need to avoid some of the common pitfalls I see all the time. So let's talk about those now. Here are some of the pitfalls that keep people stuck. There's nothing quite like a big blast of Shakti in the system for the ego to go wild. The ego, it loves to take this energy and inflate itself. It says, look at me, I'm special, I'm unique. The ego always wants to go up, up and up, but in reality, you've got to come back down. Here's what I see all the time when energy starts to wake up in people. It triggers one of two extremes, either a meltdown or delusions of grandeur. And honestly, some people stay stuck there for years. I get it, because I've been there. The first time I had a blast of Shakti in my system, I developed a superiority complex. I genuinely started wondering if I might actually be the Messiah. Yes, really, I did do that. In case you're wondering, I'm not. Thank goodness my teacher put me in my place. And that's the value of having someone guide you, a teacher who can keep your feet on the ground. But meltdowns, I had those too. Constant panic, fear about the future, and endless questions about what all of this was going to mean for my life. See, here's what's happening. Our nervous systems have become fragile. Life's gotten so comfortable that we're just not used to intense experiences anymore. So when energy moves through us, we freak out, we panic, we think, something's wrong with me. And if you've spent any time on spiritual YouTube, maybe you've heard people call it demons or something scary like that. But what's really going on is self-rejection. The energy itself isn't the problem. It's our conditioned minds. We've been taught to reject unfamiliar experiences, and we fall into negative patterns of thought. And on top of that, you feel isolated. It's not like you can go to your doctor and say, hey, I think I've had an energetic experience. They're going to lock you up for that. They won't get it. You're left feeling alone and confused. But that's why we're here, to remind you you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. But most of these issues stem from one thing, an immature nervous system. So let's unpack that together with the immature nervous system conundrum. Now, when I say immature nervous system, I don't mean childish, I mean weak. It's a system that hasn't been trained to handle any levels of intensity. My teacher once told me the spiritual journey happens in the nervous system. And honestly, that was such a relief. I thought, wow, thank God, I've got one of those. I can work with that. It's not some mystical, far-off thing in the stars. It's right here, it's inside me. That's why yoga is an inner science. You do X and you get Y result. It's reliable, repeatable, and practical. But here's the catch. Most modern yoga that you do in your gym is just glorified exercise. It's not training your system. It certainly won't get you to the ultimate. But how do you know if your nervous system is immature? Well, if you panic when new sensations arise in your body, if the idea of a cold shower makes you cringe or wince, if energy surges make your bodies jolt involuntarily, well, all of these are signs that your nervous system isn't quite strong enough to hold higher levels of energy yet. And without proper training, these energy surges can blow your fuses. You create breaks in the system, and that's where things go sideways. But here's the good news. This is all fixable. You can train your nervous system to be a better container for energy, a strong, stable vessel for higher states of being. And when you do this work, you can experience these energies safely, without panic and without getting stuck in those meltdowns or delusions. So now you know what most people get wrong about Kundalini, but there is a deeper connection between Kundalini and anxiety that you need to understand. And if you're ready to stop feeling anxious and start moving forward with your life, then you can check out this video right here. I'll see you there.